cause. Remember, if I look up there, that's where my screen is. I've not gone a bit weird. But can you see this writing on here? Shirebrook Co. and Mansfield Co. I did that on my computer. I've got this very clever computer that when you click on this thing, I don't know what they call it, icon, whatever it is, you can write on the screen. So every now and again, I do it, and I thought I'll do that because when it's on the YouTube channel, it's going to catch people's eye and they might just tune in. If you're one of those folks and you're brand new, welcome to this time of worship. To all our regular folk, you've been wonderful. It's been great meeting you all. We're trying to get round as many as we can. Please be patient. I know these are tough times, but we're going to have a time of worship. We might not be together, but we're together in our hearts, aren't we? Always, always, always. So we're going to start off with a bit of a marathon of a song. In fact, it's 3 songs all put together. Amazing Grace, Are You Washed, and No, Not By Might. Great Salvation Army, songs that are known throughout the Salvation Army, great songs that are known throughout every church. So are you ready to sing this? Shall we have a go? If you get a bit tired, have a sit down, because I think I might halfway through this. But it's great, I love this one of my favourites. Let's start worship together.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Wow, what a way to start worship. Wasn't that amazing? I love that. Oh, it's by a guy called Robbie Mark. Check him out. Brilliant, brilliant guy. Have a look at this, folks. Have a look at this. 1 John 2 verse 17. The world and its desires pass away, but whoever does the will of God lives forever. That's you and me. Did you know that? We are doing the will of God. I believe the greatest thing the will of God asks us to do is to love his son Jesus Christ. And we do that, don't we? Of course we do. And when we love Jesus, we want to be like Jesus. And when we want to be like Jesus, we start behaving like Jesus. What a wonderful, fantastic circle to be in. But the world and its desires do pass away. So we need Jesus. He's the constant. So we're going to sing a Wren Collective song. If the Wren Collective are new to you, I think you'll love this one. It's upbeat. It's really encouraging. It's called You Will Never Run Away. So are you ready for this? It's dead easy to pick up. Let's sing it loud and proud.
You will never run away, you're forever mine. You will never run away, you're by my side. The widest galaxies look deeper than the sea. Countless is all infinity. Look like a shooting star, tearing apart the dark, shining for all eternity. Shining for all eternity. You will never run away, you're forever mine. You will never run away, you're by my side. You will never run away, you'll forever shine. You will never run away, you're by my side. Love stronger than the great, love drove the sun away, rising with endless majesty. Love takes us by the hand, love is the wildest dance. You are the joy inviting me. You are the joy inviting me, yeah. You will never run away, you're forever mine. You will never run away, you're by my side. You will never run away, you'll forever shine. You will never run away, you're by my side, yeah. Hearts open wide, hands lifted high, over the clouds up into the blue sky. Hearts open wide, hands lifted high, over the clouds up into the blue sky. Hearts open wide, hands lifted high, over the clouds up into the blue sky. Hearts open wide, hands lifted high, over the clouds up into the blue sky. You will never run away, you're forever mine. You will never run away, you're by my side. You will never run away, you'll forever shine. You will never run away, you're by my side.
Whoa, how did you get on with that one? Come on, folks. Good song, good band. Don't care how old you are. That makes the feet tap, doesn't it? Awesome. Look at this. God is our deliverer. Where are those people standing? In the fiery furnace. I'm going to put my clicker down again. Remember, this is a very clever piece. Don't want to lose my place. Don't want to break the clicker. You know, this week, it's been another roller coaster of a ride for me and Lorna, which we've discovered that's just about normal for ministry. Remember the old Thunderbirds programme, anything can happen in the next 60 minutes. Well, I think in ministry, anything can happen in the next 60 seconds. We've had great news this week. The COVID risk assessment for reopening the shop at Mansfield has been given the big thumbs up by our DHQ, and the shop's going to be reopening round about the 3rd of September-ish, so keep your eyes open, it's going to come. We've also got the COVID risk assessment already down here, ready to be filled in for our shop here at Shirebrook. So when all our lovely people get together, our volunteers will be able to have a meeting, get it filled in and get that sent off, and hopefully we'll get the thumbs up for that one as well. Couple of lovely highs in these still uncertain times, and while we were rolling around and enjoying those highs, we were hit with a massive, huge low with the news that on Thursday of that very same week, retired Major Raymond Wardley was promoted to glory. Raymond was a great man of God. If it wasn't for him and Margaret, this place wouldn't exist. We didn't get the chance to meet him in person, unfortunately. He was waiting to go into hospital. Obviously, you've got to be safeguarded and all that kind of stuff. But we did have a lovely phone call with him just before he went into hospital. And you know what? We liked him. We liked Major Raymond. I think he would have been our kind of officer. So this week has been a week of highs and a massive low. And I really feel that the prophet Malachi has been speaking right at my heart when he describes a day that would be like burning in a furnace. A day when everything gets rearranged. When a lot of things and a lot of people just won't be able to take the heat. And Jesus himself said, and this is my paraphrase, everything that impresses you, everything you think is sturdy, all of it is going to melt away. Do you know what, folks? Jesus was right. Everything gets caught in the meltdown. That includes me, includes you. It's true for the things that we think will outlast us. And we can try to deny it. We can try to avoid it. We can even try to ignore it. But we all know when God was speaking to us when he said, it's from dust that you came and from dust you shall return. Now some people try and get around all that by building a financial empire that they can pass on. Some people look for other ways to leave a footprint in time, and then at least they'll live on, even if it is in a memory. But sooner or later it all melts down, it all fades away, and it all turns to dust. And building your life on anything that can be taken away from you is a huge eternal mistake. Because sooner or later, what can be taken from you, it will be. And in the middle of the meltdown, in all this meltdown, where do we find our hope? Is it in ourselves? Is it in human beings? Because we're masters of the world, aren't we? Human beings. Clever people can do organ transplants and wonderful things in medicine and science. We've even put people on the moon. They've walked around up there and discovered there was nothing there. Why we wanted to go in the first place. But that's me hopping on. We built skyscrapers that make Herod's temple look like a mud hut. And yet Jesus says all these things will pass away. They will all melt down. And deep down, people know he's right. It's why they try to distract themselves with baubles and jewels and the toys of the modern world. They hope they won't have to face the fiery furnace when it all melts down and they get thrown into despair. Yet it turns out, for all believers, when we find ourselves in the middle of the fiery furnace and everything we've counted on and relied upon melts away, Jesus is right there in the middle of the flames with us. Because the one thing that can't be burned away is his eternal love. So even in weeks like this, that is what I'm most thankful for. Now in the Old Testament we find 3 friends. They're our old friends. I'm sure we've met them more than one occasion. Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego. Now they were thrown into a fiery furnace for being faithful to God. And when King Nebuchadnezzar came down to witness the execution, he was stunned to see 4 people were walking around in that fiery furnace. 4 people walking around in the flames. And he recognized the 4th man was none other than the Son of God himself. And there is the meaning in what we call the meltdown. When everything we've accumulated, when everything we've clung on to, when everything we've relied on just burns away and melts away, it's there in the heat of the furnace that we come face to face with the 4th man in the fire. And his name is Emmanuel, God with us. The 4th man in the fire is Jesus Christ himself. And all hope lies in him. He is the meaning in the meltdown. So I wonder, folks, does your world are you spinning out of control? Does your whole world seem to be crashing down around you? Do you think you can't stand any longer? You just can't take any more? Do you know what it feels like to be in the middle of the fiery furnace? If you don't, you will do. But here's the good news. Christ will meet you there. He'll not only meet you there, he'll empower you to survive and to overcome as the meltdown reveals what's true and what isn't. And when all the things we used to rely on, when they've all melted away, that's when we learn how to really lean on Jesus. That's when we find him more real, more precious, and closer to us than we could ever imagine. And then, and only then, can we say with absolute confidence, it is well with my soul.
Peace like the river.
I don't know how well this is showing up on your screens, folks. When the enemy throws us into the furnace, we should realise that we do not need to ask the Lord to deliver us. He will come to be with us and take care of us in our suffering, making our place of suffering a pleasant situation. May it be well with your souls. Whatever you go through, whatever you face, may it be well with your soul, so that God will show you a pleasant situation. Folks, have a wonderful week. Join us again next week for another service from Shirebrook and Mansfield Salvation Army Corps. I hope we've left you with something to think about, something to uphold you, something to sustain, so that you will say with absolute confidence, "It is well with my soul." And all God's people in one mighty voice roared together, Amen.